Good morning. Today we have with us the team of Lokniti, and we are here to discuss misinformation during times of crisis. With the recent India-Pakistan crisis that happened, there was a lot of information that went online, which was very hard to believe. You did not know where to draw the line that yes, this is factual data and this is fake news. So what I'm here to ask, what do you as the youth of today feel about misinformation? How is it that are you able to believe what goes up online? If there's a news coming on your WhatsApp, do you trust it? Are you like, "Hey, this is verified, this is what I will believe in," or is it that it gets questions in your mind?
I think there's this notion that young people are better at discerning that what is fake news and what is not. But I feel like we all have our Achilles heels when it comes to falling prey to fake news. If we see Lokniti's data, we see that according to age, a lot of people believe on a lot of middle-aged people believe the news that they see on Facebook or WhatsApp. But for the young people, they believe the news that they see on Twitter or Instagram. So we all have our own platforms, and we are very we do fall prey to fake news a lot. I think the recent crisis told us that.
We were discussing that when you are in the state of crisis, your state of mind is such that you are so prone to believing anything that is put out, especially when any organization that is even remotely close to the government, you are so quick to believe.
I believe that as far as believing the fake news, it depends upon the our belief system, what we want to believe. Like for example, like in the recent war situation, right? There was a lot of misinformation and fake news. Why we believe it? Because of certain belief system we carry. Like for example, the nationalism, the love for country. So I believe.
We have our biases when we tend to believe what we want to.
What we want to believe.
That's-
That is the reason I feel like.
There was that.
Yeah.
Is it also that when it comes to news channels also, there was a lot of misinformation that was on our news channels also. There was this whole thing that this has to go up when it comes to social media or on a news website. So does that also make you feel, when you see the news, for example, like when you see the news, if there is on any of the news channels, do you believe it? Are you like, yes, this is true, this is what is happening, or do you question it that no, this is fake news or this is biased news? Do you believe what you see on TV today?
For us, it's much easier because we are coming from a place which is more well read. That the first question we ask is which channel is it, or who is it funded by, or who is benefiting from this news. But I think that for the general population, it often happens that those questions don't arise because you're so conditioned to believe what you see, and that is because of the reputation that these channels have gathered over the years. Why wouldn't one believe something that you see on the news? Because these are legacy channels. These channels have so much respect for themselves. So I think they have a certain responsibility also to uphold, which we saw not being so during that.
So, for example, for you, like when you you get a WhatsApp forward saying that this has happened in this area, what is the first thought that comes into your mind?
The first thing that I do refer to other source of information. For example, during the recent crisis in two neighboring countries, which escalated to such an extent that we started believing everything that was coming from one side of the country. But I think since we're educated lot and we try to verify the information, for that thing I would really support. If you read a news paper from India, you get a narrative from the countries, an Indo-centric narrative. But in order to have a dispassionate understanding about and objectivity, you need to read what New York Times is saying, what the Dawn is saying. You need to have a multiple source of information so that you critically start to engage yourself with that. But in order to reach to this point, you need to be informed.
That's true, that you should see different sources before believing something.
That requires you so much more attention span than it requires you to share one reel or to change a channel and say, oh, this is more believable, let me keep this channel for 5 more minutes. So I think that it has to do a lot with the younger people and a lot of older people who don't have that much attention span, which has eroded over time, that is resulting in the spread of fake news so fast. We demand updates by the second, and that is not something which can be coped up by the news houses, which is why even for them it's more profitable to spread such news. And it is for us as audience to then ask ourselves, did we take the time, did we take those 10 extra minutes to go to other sites and check it? So it is for us to then decipher if we are also following the ethics that it requires to learn from it.
But I think still, even if you're indulging, even if you're so vigilant that you're checking international sources and national sources and other sources, it's still very tough because it takes time to verify things. That's what she's saying. When you want updates by the second, you don't really take the time. Even if you're taking the time, like I saw PIB was verifying a lot of things, and it had to spend a lot of resources at the time to debunk a lot of things that were going on in the news. Like that had become a separate thing that this is not true, this ran in the news today, and it's not actually true. But there's a delay after which this verification is coming. Until then, you were believing it. You see something in the morning, you discuss it on your way to work, and maybe by the afternoon or by evening when you get home, you understand, oh, this has been debunked actually.
And then
There's
all
actually
the spread of news.
yeah, and you've already talked about it in your office too, or at your work, and everything has already happened.
The spread has already happened. It's not just a
Yeah.
WhatsApp text that you're forwarding, and also that if I'm reading something and I'm like, I believe it, this has happened, I will go tell 5 people. That's also a way of spreading news.
Yeah.
I'll wrap up this discussion with one question for everybody, and everybody in short will tell me them. Do you think in the recent past, from in the last 10 years, has this misinformation, spreading of misinformation increased or decreased? Okay, and as audience, is it that 10 years ago when you were getting a WhatsApp, you were forwarding it with like just like that, chalo, let's forward it, and now you are more aware? Is there a change now, or is it the same? Let's start.
Like we talk about like 5 or 10 years back. I usually like don't even have any like a thought of like when I was forwarding the news, just forwarding it. But right now I'm
More aware.
I'm aware and I'm fact checking the thing that whatever I'm forwarding to other people, is it true? It is correct? And what can be the consequences for the other people?
That's the awareness thing.
I think that fake news has always existed. Now it's just that there are more people and more significant people who are profiting from it, which is why we see it more, which is why we can track it more. So I think now is the most important time to be aware of such. But fake news has always been.
Yeah, I agree. Fake news always existed. The difference I think was you didn't have access to it. If you were a person who read the newspaper or who watched the news, then only you would come in contact with news. Now you see the news everywhere. Even if you are not a very well-read person, you go on Instagram, you see news. So that's what's changed. I also feel like this paranoia, what Tushar mentioned, this awareness has also increased. Like if we see Lokniti's data only, it cites that 21% of active internet users are more paranoid or more worried about receiving fake news compared to other normal casual internet users. So that has also been the change that I've seen.
I can obviously like take that expensive, whatever the decision for the time in this too. But we need to reduce those democratic spaces and to counter it. And we need to create alternative society so we can combat or mitigate the impact.
Thank you so much, guys.